Here's a flowchart illustrating how the 1987 Constitution indirectly allows the delegation of power to administrative agencies. Indirect allowance of delegation to administrative agencies. Does the Constitution indirectly allow delegation of power to administrative agencies? Yes. E. Identify specific constitutional provisions related to executive and legislative powers. V. No. Constitutionality of delegated powers subject to judicial review. This flowchart outlines the process by which the 1987 Constitution indirectly allows the delegation of power to administrative agencies. If the Constitution indirectly allows delegation, the next step would be to identify specific constitutional provisions related to executive and legislative powers. If not, the flowchart indicates that the constitutionality of delegated powers is subject to judicial review. Here's a simplified flowchart illustrating the provisions in the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines that relate to the delegation of power to power administrative agencies. Does the Constitution expressly allow delegation of power to administrative agencies? V plus. Yes. Identify specific constitutional provisions authorizing delegation. V. No. Delegation not. Explicitly addressed. V. This flowchart outlines the decision-making process regarding the delegation of power to administrative agencies based on the provisions of the 1987 Constitution. If the Constitution expressly allows delegation, the next step would be to identify the specific constitutional provisions authorizing such delegation. If not, the flowchart indicates that delegation is not explicitly addressed in the Constitution. The 1987 Constitution of the Philippines does not explicitly state that power can be delegated to administrative agencies. Instead, the Constitution provides for specific provisions regarding the separation of powers and the functions of each branch of government. However, the Constitution does contain provisions that indirectly address delegation of powers to administrative agencies. For example, 1. Article 6, Section 1. This section vests the legislative power in the Congress of the Philippines, implying that the primary authority to make laws resides with the legislative branch. Any delegation of legislative power to administrative agencies would need to be consistent with this provision. 2. Article 7, Section 17. This section grants the President certain powers, including the authority to issue executive orders, administrative orders, proclamations, and other decrees. While not explicitly mentioning administrative agencies, these powers may be exercised to delegate certain functions or authority to such agencies. Article 8, Section 5. This section establishes the power of judicial review, allowing the judiciary to determine the constitutionality of laws and regulations, including those enacted by administrative agencies. Overall, while the 1987 Constitution does not expressly state that power can be delegated to administrative agencies, it provides a framework within which such delegation may occur, subject to constitutional limitations and principles such as the separation of powers and due process. State that power can be delegated to administrative agencies. It provides a framework within which such delegation may occur, subject to constitutional limitations.